If this is our first time meeting, I'm Aly, and this is going to be an hour-long gentle class, and we're going to start out on our backs. So if you guys want to make your way down, just make sure that you have the strap somewhere handy. And come to just settling down on your back. The options would be you could keep your knees bent. You can let your legs go long if that feels good. You can put maybe a blanket behind your head or anything else if you want some support behind your head. Maybe you close your eyes or just soften your gaze, allowing your eyes to rest and be still. And then just take a moment to settle yourself here, feeling your body in space, the space that you occupy, feeling the ground beneath you, supporting your backside, your spine, and just take a moment and feel all those little points of contact wherever your body meets the ground. Just begin to drop into that contact. Feel yourself growing a little heavier with each exhale out. And maybe we bring the hands to rest on the body. Maybe both hands on the low belly, or you could take one hand over the belly, one hand over the heart. And just connect and grounding down into that support beneath. Allowing the breath to deepen. And you can just link your mind right to the breath. It's always a good anchor. Mind wanders off. Come back to your breath as many times as it takes. It's all part of the practice. Maybe you hear the gentle sound of the breath in and out. Maybe you notice the warmth of the breath. Cool on the inhale, but then warm on the exhale. Remember to take care of yourself all throughout the physical practice. Don't do anything if it does not feel right. Maybe you just have to modify. Sometimes it's just a small change, and then suddenly it feels better. But otherwise, we just don't do it. We take a different shape. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Try not to attach any one idea or way of doing anything. Just let yourself be free to explore. And then from here, let's just begin by bending into the knees. The legs are outstretched, and then we'll tuck the knees into the chest and give yourself a squeeze. Maybe rock a little side to side. And then we'll come to stillness. And from here, we're going to take one hand to either knee. This is where we're going to draw 2 separate circles here, taking the knees apart, around, and back in together. This is just a great movement to explore the range of motion in the hips. Get a little massage for the low back. Oh, just one more circle this direction, and then we're going to pause and we'll take those circles the opposite way. So a few more circles. Notice any subtle change in sensation. And then the next time the knees are wide, let's just pause and let that settle. You can just lightly hug the knees in towards the body. Maybe we bring the feet together here. If it feels good, you could kind of rock and tip the hips a little side to side. And then let's come to stillness. And from here, we're going to close the legs back up, just like closing a book. And then we'll just straighten both legs out, reaching feet up towards the ceiling. And then from here, we'll re-bend into the knees. We're just going to straighten and bend a few times, just straightening out any amount. Bending back into the knees. 2 more times. And just try to follow the whole arc of the movement. Slowing it down. And then after that second time, let's just bend back into the knees. We'll pause here and we're going to set the feet down. And then from here, we'll grab our strap. We're going to unloop the strap. And then we're going to lift the right foot up. We're going to loop the strap around the ball of the right foot and we'll straighten the right leg out. You just take one end of the strap, either hand. Let your shoulder blades settle down on the mat. We're going to straighten that right leg out any amount. And then from here, you can either keep one end of the strap in either the hand, or you can take both ends of the strap into one hand. And we're just going to let that right foot come out to the side and then draw that right foot back in any amount. So just kind of a rocking side to side here. And we'll see if we can keep the left hip down on the mat. Just explore your edge. Opening that right hip any amount. And again, we're not holding to any preconceived ideas here. Just explore the sensation, the movement. Let it be what it will be. One more time. And then we'll bring that right leg back in. We're going to begin to bend into the right knee. We'll unloop the strap. We can set that aside. And then we're going to slide the right arm inside of that right knee. We'll keep the right knee bent, and we're going to bring the right hand maybe to the outer end of that edge of that right foot, or you could hold on to the ankle, or you can always just hold on behind the thigh. And then we're going to reach the foot up towards the ceiling. We're going to draw that right knee wide any amount. So we've got a half happy baby here. If you think about that happy baby shape, this time we could just focus on the sensation in the right side, keeping the hips level, just drawing that right knee wide any amount. Maybe we let the toes just wiggle a little bit here. You can play with your toes, which is exactly what a baby would do. So this is aptly named here, this pose. And then we're going to just begin to slowly drop the right foot down, and we're going to hook the right ankle over the left knee. So we'll take it right into a figure 4 here. You can think about drawing that right outer hip down and under. The right knee is going to begin to draw away. And then if it feels good, you could always lift the left foot up. Only if you want, if that feels right, we can lift the left foot up. We could hook the hands behind that left thigh and either hold still here, or you could always rock. The rocking is pretty much always an option, an invitation, if it feels good. And then let's come to stillness. We can set that left foot down. We'll unhook the right ankle, set the right foot down for a moment. Just observe the difference in your hips side to side and all that sensation. And then from here, we're going to take the strap again. Take the strap. We're going to lift the left foot up, loop the strap around the ball of the left foot. And we'll just straighten that left leg out, listening to the body, observing that sensation back line of the left leg. And then that same just kind of rocking of the foot side to side. Remember, you could hold one end of the strap either hand, or you could take both to one. And then really just think about the grounding down of your backside here, your spine down on the mat, your right foot down on the mat. That's what is creating our steadiness. even as we take the motion side to side. One more time. And then we'll bring that left leg back in. We're going to bend into the left knee. We'll unloop the strap. Just set the strap aside. We'll keep the left knee bent. And then from here, we're going to take that left arm inside of the left leg. We're going to reach hand for the foot, ankle, or again, we could go behind the thigh. And then we're going half happy baby here, taking that left knee wide, reaching the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. And just feel that sensation. Remember, you can kind of play around with your toes here while the toes are floating. You can always stretch them apart, curl them up. And then we're going to begin to draw that left heel back down. We're going to cross the left foot over towards that right knee. We'll take our figure 4. So kind of just letting that left foot cross over to that right leg, letting the left knee draw back, feeling the outer left hip. And then you can stay here, or we can lift that right foot up. You can loop the hands behind the thigh. One side might feel different from the other. You just want to honor that difference. Listen to your body. Don't create any tension in your shoulders or your neck here. See if you can let that go. Take 2 more breaths. And then we'll just begin to set that right foot down. We're going to gently, slowly unhook that left ankle, set the left foot down. And then from here, just let both knees roll in towards one another. And that'll just kind of neutralize the hips. Take maybe 2 breaths here. Breathing deep down into your belly, exhaling out. And 1 more breath. And then let's tuck both knees into the chest and just give yourself a squeeze. Maybe a few little rocks side to side, or we just hold still. And then from here, we're going to make our way up to a seat. Come on up whichever way you like. We'll find a cross-legged seat. And if you like, maybe coming up onto a blanket, finding a tall spine. So just know you can always adjust this seat if at any point it doesn't feel right. We're going to find both those sitting bones, that tall spine, and then from here we're going to take some circles, just reaching right shoulder towards the right knee, sweeping the chest in front, around to the left and back. And you can just really lean into this as much as you'd like. And get flowy. And it's a meditation all in and of itself, just the swirling movement. We'll go 1 more circle this way. And then just pause, reverse it out, go the opposite way. Let's go 1 more circle this way. And then we're going to slow it down, come to stillness, come right back to center. And we're going to take the hands down by the sides. And then from here, we're going to cross the right hand over to the left leg. We're going to begin to lighten up the left hand. We're going to reach the left arm up, and then we'll just lean in any amount towards the right side. So we just get like a little crisscross here. And then we'll gently take that left hand back down. And we're going to do that 2 more times, just lifting and leaning over towards the right. We'll take the hand back down, and then 1 more time. And then we'll take the hand back down. Now from here, we can switch it out. We'll take that right hand back down, bring the left hand over to the right knee. We're going to lighten up the right hand, reach up. We'll lean in towards the left. And then let's tap that right hand back down, and we'll go 2 more times. Just go at your own pace here. And then we'll take that right hand back down. We can bring that left hand back to the left side, and we're just going to switch out the cross of the legs. So just making note, bringing the opposite shin in front and then resettling, finding that tall spine. And from here, we're going to take a little cat and cow. So as you inhale, just reaching your chest forwards, lifting your heart, maybe the gaze tips up. And then as you exhale, just around and scoop your belly in, tuck your chin, and we're going to flow through the movement, linking to the breath, and just explore the whole arc of the movement, the traveling of the sensation up and down the spine. Connecting to the breath. One more cycle. And then just finding a neutral spine. So that will be in between these two shapes here. Neither rounding nor arching, just a tall, long spine. And then we'll drop the chin down towards the chest. And from here, we're going to rock the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Maybe we just pause, let the left shoulder soften. If it feels good, you can always crawl the left fingertips out, lengthening out through the left fingertips. And then we can bring the chin back down through center. We'll bring that left arm back in. We'll rock left ear towards the left shoulder. Right fingertips can crawl out. And then let's come back through center. We'll bring that right arm back in. Just let your head hang for a moment. And then slowly lifting the chin back up. And then from here, we're going to uncross the legs and we'll make our way over to tabletop. Line everything up. So knees under the hips, feet stacked directly behind the knees. Always the option here. So usually, as you know, say tops of the feet down, but you always have the option to tuck the toes here. And then wrists are right under the shoulders, fingers spread wide. You can certainly add comfort under the knees. So from here, we're going to step the right foot straight out to the side, and we're going to plant that right foot down. So we have the right arch about lined up with that left knee. Make sure that everything feels comfortable in your knee. And from here, we're going to just explore, just slowly shifting the hips back any amount, and then rocking the hips forwards any amount. This can be the tiniest movement. It could be a millimeter in either direction. If that feels like a lot, you land there. If you want more sensation, you find a little bit more movement. It's completely personal. It's what feels right for you. We'll go one more time. And then we're just going to line up the left hip over the left knee again. Find a long spine, steady down through your right foot. Begin to slowly walk both hands over towards that right side. We're just going to step the hands over so we get this nice long stretch on the left side. You can gaze down towards the mat and you just pause at your edge. And then we walk the hands slowly back through center. Take your time. And then from here, let's keep that left palm planted. We're going to slowly rotate right, reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling. We'll stack the shoulders here, right ribs reach up, and take one breath. And then let's lower the right hand slowly back down. We'll bring the right leg back in. This time we can step the left foot straight out to the side, extending out through that left leg, pressing down through the left foot. So that left leg entirely long. And then from here, just the rocking back and forth. Think sending your tailbone back, reaching the tailbone forward, kind of rocking in that long direction on the mat. As much as you'd like, in addition to the stretch in the leg, the stretch for the knee, there's a stretch for the wrist. Let's just line everything up so that right hip's going to be over the right knee. And from here, we're going to keep the hips where they are, just walking the hands towards the left. So the hips are stable, facing forwards as much as they're going to. And we just step the hands over. You can gaze right down towards the mat. Relax your neck. And then we're going to walk the hands back in. We'll line up the wrists under the shoulders. The right palm will stay planted. We're going to rotate left this time. Left ribs reach up, left arm reaches up. We're going to lengthen fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then let's slowly lower that left hand back down. From here, we'll bring the left leg in. And then we're going to walk the hands back. And we're going to lift up onto our knees. So we've still got the padding underneath. Again, we could always tuck the toes under. And then let's inhale to circle the arms around and up. We'll bring palms to touch. And then exhale the hands down through heart center. We'll just take a few sun breaths here as we inhale, just floating arms up, palms meet. Exhaling to draw back down to the heart. 2 more times. We'll lower the hands down through heart center. And then let's inhale to reach back up. We'll just pause this time. Now we'll begin to make some wrist circles as we slowly just lower the arms back down. Take your time. You can keep the fingers loose, or you could ball up the hands. And then we'll pause. And next inhale, we're going to reach the arms back up, lengthening. This time we'll go the opposite direction with our circles coming down, and just focus on the whole movement. Slowing down. And then once the arms come down, just pause. Next inhale, we'll begin to reach the arms around and up. Again, we'll bring the palms to touch. Exhale the hands down through heart center. And then we'll shift the gaze down. We're going to take the hands down to the mat. And then from here, let's take the hands forward about a palm's width distance. We're going to shift the hips forward so our shoulders rock over our wrists. And we're in this kneeling plank. So not a back bend, belly button's engaged in towards the spine. We're just going to gaze right down towards the mat. And then from here, we'll begin to bend into the elbows. We'll lower all the way down to the belly. And then once you're down, then just walking the elbows forwards. We're going to line up in a Sphinx pose here. Elbows right under the shoulders. So we get this 90-degree bend in the arms. And just let your hips settle. See if you can feel your hips, if they're even on the mat. Let the tops of your feet roll down towards the mat. Think about lengthening your tailbone back, lifting your frontal hip points in, and then just curling all the way up the spine, lengthening, creating space between each of the vertebrae. And then let's slowly lower down. We can overlap the palms. You can rest with your chin down, or you can rest on one cheek. And then let's bend into the knees and just take a little windshield wiper side to side. And then let's come to stillness. We're going to lower the feet down. Just let your feet land. And then from here, let's just bend into the right knee, reaching the right toes up. We're going to hug that right heel in. And then we'll lower the right foot down. We're going to bend into the left knee, reaching the left toes up, hugging that left heel in. We're just going to go side to side. You can find your own rhythm here. Just bending one leg at a time. And just feel your muscles working here. So the hamstring, that back muscle on the thigh, just working to draw the heel in towards the back line of the body. Now, maybe we lift one foot up and then we bring the other foot up to meet it. Just an option, or you can just still go side to side. Maybe we bring the toes to touch. And then we can just lower the feet back down. We'll let that go. We're going to bring palms down alongside the low ribs, hugging elbows in. And then as you inhale, slowly begin to press your way up, back onto hands and knees. We'll find tabletop. And then from here, let's bring the hands to blocks. Just an option. We're coming into a lunge. You can always decide if you don't need the blocks, but they create a little extra height for the chest. We can step the right foot through and go with that right leg first. So right knee over the ankle, and then just let your hips settle. See if you can find a long spine all the way from your tailbone up. And then we can come up onto the fingertips. You can rise up. Maybe we bring hands to that front knee. So the spine is totally upright here, crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. And then let's sweep both arms up. Just gazing forwards. And then let's interlace the fingers. We're going to take the hands back behind the head, opening elbows wide. So the spine is going to stay nice and long. And think about rotating from your ribs here. We're going to start to rotate right, belly, ribs, and chest. The right ribs reaching back, the left ribs reaching forwards. And then steady down through your feet, through your hips as we unwind. And we're going to take it to the left, slowly revolving. Left ribs back, right ribs forwards. And then let's slowly come back through center. We'll reach both arms up. And then lower your gaze down. We'll take the hands back down to the blocks. We're going to tuck the left toes under. And we're going to lift the left knee up. So we just want to make sure wrists are right under the shoulders. We're going to let the hips settle. We're going to think about the length from the tailbone all the way up through the crown of the head. That long spine, you can go light on the weight in the palms. Notice how heavy you are in your palms and your wrists here. Use your feet, your hips to help support you. And then from here, we're going to gaze forwards, put a little bounce in that back foot. We'll take a big step up. And then an inhale to half lift. Just slide hands up your shins. Find a nice long spine. So tailbone reaching straight back, crown of the head lengthening forwards. And then we can soften into the knees. We'll bring the hands back down to the blocks. And from here, we're going to step the right foot back. We're going to take our lunge on the opposite side. So left knee forwards. We're going to let that settle for a moment. And then we'll drop the right knee down. We're going to untuck the toes. And then as you're ready, slowly rising up. Taking your time, and if there's any discomfort in the knees, remember you can always pad under that back knee. So once we're here, just settling in, gazing forward, steadying the gaze, just finding the breath, and we'll add on. We're going to interlace the fingers. We're going to take the hands back behind the head, opening the elbows wide, and just feel that sensation to start. And then we're going to start by revolving left. This time, left ribs reaching back, right ribs reaching forwards. Think about firming your outer hips in, light squeeze of the inner thighs. And then we'll slowly unwind the twist. We're going to take it to the right. This might feel a little bit weird. Rotating right ribs back, left ribs forwards. And then we'll come back through center. We're going to stretch both arms long, then shift the gaze down. Take your hands down to the blocks. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. We're going to let this settle. Feeling this shape here, letting the hips just drop down any amount, listening to the body, finding that long spine, just gazing somewhere slightly forwards of that left foot. And then notice your hands here, how heavy you are in the palms. See if you can lighten that up. Feeling the strength of your legs. And then a little bounce in that back foot. Big step up. Inhaling to half lift. Exhaling to fold in. And this time as we inhale, we're going to sweep the arms around and up. We'll come all the way up to stand. Exhaling, arms down by the sides. Inhale to reach back up. As you exhale, fold back in. You can bend into the knees, hinge at the hips. And then inhale to half lift, lengthen. Exhale to fold in. And then we'll inhale to sweep arms around and up. Exhale the arms down. We're going to go one more time. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to find length. Exhale to fold. Inhale to sweep arms around and up. Exhale the arms down. We'll let that land, all that movement, let it settle to stillness. And then from here, we'll take the hands to the hips. We're going to really seal down that left foot. Feel your left foot connecting with the mat. Lighten up onto the ball of the right foot. We're going to take a big step back. Right foot will land the foot down for warrior one. So our toes angled up towards that right corner of the mat. And we're going to bend into the front knee. At the same time, press back through the right inner thigh. And then keeping the torso upright, we can add the arms here. Belly button just lightly drawing in. So we're supporting the low back by scooping the belly button in. We're lengthening up through the crown of the head. Fingertips reach up. And then from here, let's take the left hand down to the hip. We're going to keep the right fingertips reaching up. And we're going to, steadying down through the feet, just slowly begin to tip towards that left side and hand out. And then let's slowly come back up. We're going to reach the left arm back up. This time the right hand can come down to the hip. We're going to lengthen up through the left fingertips. We're going to slowly lean towards the right. And this way might feel a little bit weird, a little less stable. And then we'll come back up. We're going to reach that right arm back up. And let's bring the palms to touch. We'll lower the hands down through heart center, moving slowly. We'll lift onto the ball of the right foot. And we're just going to take a big step up. Big step up. Let your hands come down. Give the legs a little wiggle. And then we're going to take the hands to the hips. This time we're going to steady down through the right foot. Seal that right foot down. Lift up onto the left toes. Big step back. Left foot. Planting that left foot down. So the whole foot is landed back on the mat. We're going to make sure we have the hips facing up towards the top. And then bending into the front knee. Pressing back through the back thigh. Reaching the arms up. And then focusing the gaze, settling in for a breath or two just to feel your warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. And then we're going to keep the low half the same, so nothing changing there. We'll just start by taking the right hand down to the hip, lifting up through the left fingertips, and slowly we're going to tip in towards the right side. And then we'll slowly come back up. We're going to bring the right arm back up. Left hand will come down to the left hip, and we're going to slowly tip towards the left side. Keeping the steadiness in the legs, exploring the side stretch. And then we'll come back up. We're going to reach the left arm back up. Bring both palms to touch. We're going to lower the hands down through heart center. And then we'll lift up onto the ball of the back foot. Gazing forwards, little spring in that back foot. We're going to step up. And then let's give it a little wiggle. And then from here, we're going to turn to face the long edge of the mat. We'll go towards the plant wall here. We'll bring some blocks with us just in case. Not sure if we'll need those blocks. And then from here, we're going to step the feet out wide. As wide as you're comfortable going. Steadying down through both feet. We're going to bring palms to touch. And then we're going to take some side lunges. We're going to start with the right side. We'll begin to bend into the right knee. We're going to straighten into the left leg. You can let your right toes track out a little bit. And then we're going to come straight back up through center. This time we're going to bend into the left knee. And we're going to straighten into the right leg. And then we'll come back up through center. We're going to come back to the right side. We're only sending the hips down so far as we feel comfortable. See if you can keep your spine long. Explore the stretch. So thinking about the sensation, make sure your knees feel okay. We can always adjust the angle of the feet. And if we want to go a little lower, you can always kind of pause, maybe lightly resting your forearm on the thigh, letting the hips settle. And let's go one more time, side to side. So coming back up through center. From here, we'll take the hands to the hips and we're gonna let the left toes turn in a little bit. We're gonna continue to turn the right toes towards the props and we're gonna bend into that right knee. So we've got our warrior two legs. We'll tee the arms out to the side. And we're just gazing over the front fingertips. So we've got heel to arch alignment, maybe a little bit wider. And we're gazing out over the front fingertips. Strong back leg, lengthening out through that entire left leg. And then from here, we'll straighten into the right leg as we flip the right palm up towards the ceiling, and we're going to reach the right arm alongside the ear. So our reverse triangle. And then from here, we'll tee the arms back out. We're going to take hands to the hips and steer the right toes towards the long edge. We'll let the right toes turn in. This time we're going to let the left toes point towards the front of the studio here. And then we're going to bend into that left knee, finding our warrior two, our hips open towards that long edge, the arms teeing out to the side, gazing out over the front fingertips. Let's take one more breath here. And then we'll begin to straighten into the left leg, reaching the left palms up, left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. So our reverse triangle. And then let's tee the arms back out. We'll take hands to the hips. We're going to steer the left toes towards the long edge. And then we're going to open from both hips now. So both toes are going to turn out, preparing for our goddess pose. We'll begin to bend into both knees. You're going to let the hips settle down any amount. You can always adjust your feet here. We want to make sure that, our knees are about lined up over the ankles. It could always be less than the ankles, just not far over. And then we let the hips settle down. We're going to keep a long spine, big belly button tucking in, crown of the head reaching up. And then let's add the arms here. So elbows drawing wide, palms forward, our goddess pose. Keeping the tops of the neck, the sides of the neck, the tops of the shoulders just nice and loose. Keeping the muscles of the face nice and loose. No tension. And then let's straighten into both legs. Reach both arms straight up towards the ceiling. A nice long stretch. And then let's interlace the fingers, leaving just the index fingers free. We're going to make a little arrow up towards the ceiling, steady down through both feet. We'll take a little lean over towards the right, drawing fingertips over towards the right. Come back up through center. We'll take a little lean over towards the left. Come back up through center. We'll release the hands apart, circle hands down to the hips, and we're gonna steer the toes forwards. And then we can walk, step, or hop the feet together. Maybe a little swish if you like, just letting the arms hang and swaying it out. We didn't need the blocks after all, but they were there. Just let it go. All right, and then slow it down, come to stillness. And then we're gonna come back up to the top of the mat. We'll bring our blocks along just so they're back again. And then we're gonna do a little bit of balance work. A little bit of balance work. So you could stay on your mat. You can always step off the mat. You can come close to the wall just so you know that it's there for you. And then we're gonna bring the palms to touch. And we're gonna steady down through the left foot. We're gonna lighten up onto the right toes. And we're gonna float that right knee up any amount. And we're gonna find, so it could be closer to the ground. You can always keep the ground really close, or we try lifting a little bit higher. Then from here, we're gonna find a flowing movement. We're gonna step the right foot back. As we open both arms wide, we'll tap the toes down. And then we're gonna bring the palms to touch. We're gonna draw the right knee forwards and up. And then we can draw the right foot back, tap the toes down. We'll open the arms wide. And then we come back through center, drawing that right knee up. Now, if you want a little bit more challenge, we can always try to hover the toes, or we tap the toes down. And remember, you always have the option to scoot the foot along the mat as well. Let's just go one more time. And then we'll let that go. We're gonna bring the right knee back up, set the right foot down, and just let it go. Give your legs a little wiggle. And then we reset for the second side. So we're gonna steady down through the right foot, lift up onto the left toes. We can bring palms to touch. We're gonna float that left knee up any amount. Remember, let go of any preconceived notions. Explore your edge just where it is in the moment. And then from here, we're gonna step the left toes back. We're gonna open the arms wide. And then we'll come forwards with that left knee, bring palms to touch. Step the left foot back. Either hovering or we tap the toes down. Let's just go one more time. And then we'll bring the palms to touch. We'll reach that left knee up. Set that left foot down. A little wiggle again. And then we're done. That was it for the balance. Just a little bit of it's like flying, a little bit. So from here, we're gonna steady down through both feet, feet about hips width distance apart, and we'll bring palms to touch. This time we're gonna bend into the knees, letting the hips settle, finding our chair pose. So we're gonna keep the legs parallel here. Let the hips settle, keep that nice long spine, chest lifted, belly button drawing in. We can always keep the hands to heart center here. Two options, you could also reach the arms forwards or arms up alongside the ears. And you just decide where you want to be. This is very neutral for the shoulders. This is a little bit more. We can always go a little bit wider with our arms. Steady here, one more breath. And then let's fold in. We're gonna hinge right over the hips, sending crown of the head down. Next inhale, we'll take a halfway lift, sliding hands up the shins, long spine. Exhale to fold in. This time, let's plant the hands. We're gonna step both feet back to a plank pose, straight back. And then we'll drop the knees down, untucking the toes. We're gonna shift forward, bend into the elbows, lower all the way down. Now hands are gonna stay by the low ribs this time. We're gonna keep hugging the elbows in, light weight in the palms. Be aware of how much you're really grounding down through the palms here. It's just a light pressure. We're gonna use our back here as we inhale and begin to peel up away from the mat. Head, neck, chest, keeping the elbows hugging, and we're just gonna lift up any amount. You're listening to your body here. Maybe we peel up an inch, maybe a little bit more. Light weight in the palms. Feel your back muscles working here. We'll take one more breath. And then we're gonna lower down and we'll let that go. We can walk the hands forwards, overlapping the palms, maybe resting opposite cheek. We can bend into the knees, take another little windshield wiper. Come to stillness. And then let's lower the feet down. We'll walk the hands alongside the low ribs, hug elbows in. This time as we inhale, we're pressing up onto hands and knees. And we're gonna line up into a tabletop. So again, you can pad here if you like. So from our tabletop, we're gonna step the right foot straight back. We're gonna kickstand the left foot out to the side as we roll the right hip up towards the ceiling, opening into our side plank, our kneeling side plank. So right hip's gonna rotate up. We're gonna roll that right foot down, and then we can reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. So we've got our kneeling side plank. From here, we're gonna rotate that right palm to face down. We'll extend the right arm alongside the ear, right fingertips reaching forwards. And then we can reach the right arm back up towards the ceiling. From here, we'll take the right hand to the hip. We're gonna steady down through that left palm. You can try floating the right foot up. We're gonna have a couple of different options here. So you always have the option to keep that right foot down. Maybe we're lifting that right foot up, extending out through that right heel. A last and final option here, just an option. Maybe we bend into that right knee, reaching the right heel behind. Maybe we take the right hand down to that right foot. If you can bind on, you can bind on. We could extend the hand towards the foot. We can work at any part along this process. Just bending. And we'll take one more breath. And then we're going to extend back out through the right leg. We're going to reach the right arm up. We'll take the right foot down to the mat. We're going to bring the right hand down, bring the right leg back in, landing tabletop. Just notice the body here. Notice the sensation side to side. We'll step the left foot straight back. Extend the right foot out to the side this time. We're going to roll the left hip up, planting that left foot down. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And then from here, we'll rotate that left palm to face down. We're going to extend the left arm forwards up alongside that left ear and just feel all that length along the left side. Then we'll reach the left arm straight back up. From here, we'll take the left hand to the hip, and we're going to just slowly, with control, try lifting that left foot up. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe it comes up to hip height. Lengthen the crown of your head forwards. And just if you'd like to go a little bit further or you want to try it out, we're going to bend into the left knee, reaching the left heel behind. We can reach the left hand for that left foot or ankle. We might reach the left thigh back in space. Finding your breath here. One more breath. And then we can release that left foot, extend back out, reach the left arm up. We'll set the left foot down on the mat. And then we're going to bring everything back into our tabletop. Take your time to get there. And then a child's pose. Just knees a little wider. We can ease hips down towards the heels, forehead down towards the mat. And just let that go. A couple of breaths here. Make sure you're comfortable in your child's pose. We can always add padding, add support. Release out. A couple of breaths. Being grateful for the breath, for this body. And then next inhale, let's begin to lift up. We'll come back up through tabletop, and then we're going to scoot the feet around, draw the legs in front. We'll find a seat. And we might come up to sit on a blanket. Gonna let the legs go long. And then just your legs release for a moment. We'll bend into the right knee, bringing the right heel in, and then we're gonna let the right knee fall open towards the side. You can always place a block under this side. We have our straps. If you want to use a strap here, we're going to take Janu Sirsasana. Otherwise, we can always just take one hand to either side of that leg. So if we have the strap, one end either hand, a nice tall spine, lengthening all the way up from your tailbone up through the crown of your head. And then we're just going to hinge right over the hips here, crawling the hands forwards. Once you slow in that fold, then you just relax your neck, soften your shoulders, let your gaze tip down, and follow your breath. And just be open to the sensation, your breath, and any changes that creates. Try to let go of any preconceived notions, desires, the idea, how you think anything should be. And just let it be. Next inhale, we'll slowly lift up. Take your time. And then we can unloop that strap and we'll switch it out. So giving it time, we're going to bring the right knee up, lengthen the right leg out, bend into the left knee, let that left knee fall open. And then the tall spine, Starting here, belly button lightly reaching towards that right knee. As you exhale, finding your hinge. Just a little bit at a time. Observe the hinge right over the hip crease. Once that movement slows, relax your neck, soften your shoulders. We don't need to be creating any tension in the shoulders or neck. If it helps you to just kind of shake the head a little side to side, you can always release. Letting your neck, your shoulders just soften completely. One more breath. And then next inhale, we can slowly rise. And we'll unloop the strap. Set that aside. Lift the left knee up. Lengthen that left leg out. Give your legs a little wiggle. And then we'll bend into the knees. We're going to come off of any prop. And just make sure you have a block beside you. You can add a layer because, yes, we are going to come down to our backs shortly. And then we'll be ready for Shavasana. But before we come entirely to our backs, we're going to lean back onto the forearms. And let's just bring the soles of the feet together here for a moment. Let the knees fall open. You can just steady down into your forearms. We'll just keep the chest lifted here. And we can slowly lift the legs back up together. And we're going to step the feet wide. And then we'll let the knees fall either side. If this is too much at all on your shoulders, you can always lower onto your back completely. We don't have to be on the forearms. It's just kind of a nice counter stretch. Different action for the shoulders from how we so often are. One more time, side to side. And then we can bring the knees back up. We'll heel toe the feet in towards one another, and we're going to let ourselves come all the way down onto our backs. And then from here, let's just tuck the knees into the chest. Give yourself a quick little squeeze. And then let's set the feet down. We're going to tee the arms out to the side. And we're going to just scoot both hips a little bit to the left. And we're going to let both knees begin to tip over to the right. A supine twist, letting the knees drop to the right. You're going to find your edge here. It might help to have a blanket or a block under the bottom leg or in between the legs. Let your left shoulder, your left arm just soften down any amount. Notice any sensations in your body here as we wind down. And then we'll slowly just begin to unwind the twist, bringing the knees to point back up towards the ceiling. And then we can level out the hips. We'll scoot hips just a little bit to the right. Let the knees fall over to the left at your own pace, easing into it. Once you're there, softening completely. Over time, we can work towards lifting that right hip up, stacking the knees. But if in the moment it feels right to let the knees just slide apart, if that feels better in the low back, you're just going to be there. Find your edge. Pause there. Next inhale, we'll slowly begin to lift the knees back up. Knees pointing up towards the ceiling. We'll level out the hips. We're going to step the feet hips width distance apart. And then we'll slowly lower the arms down by the sides. So knees are going to point straight up towards the ceiling. We're going to take a moment to connect the feet down on the mat, backs of the arms down on the mat. And then as you inhale, just slowly begin to curl your hips up off the mat, any amount. We're going to continue to rainbow the hips up. Maybe we come all the way to the backs of the shoulders for our bridge pose. Final option, if it feels good to roll the shoulders under and clasp the hands behind the back, we can take a bind. And just pressing backs of the arms down, lifting the hips, light squeeze of the inner thighs, a light drawing in of the heels towards the backs of the shoulders. Just engaging. You'll feel your glutes a little bit here. Take one more breath. And then we're going to release slowly, letting go of any binds, letting the spine travel back down, letting the hips land. And then maybe we let the knees just roll in towards one another. And then just slowly reach for your block. We're going to take the block, low wide setting. And we'll bring the knees to point back up towards the ceiling. And then from here, we're just going to lift up the hips enough to scoot the block right underneath, letting the hips land. So the block goes right underneath the tailbone, the sacrum, kind of that area, just beneath the low back. And then we just let the feet get heavy here for a moment, let the hips get heavy, backs of the arms. And then we might keep the feet grounded here, or actually, let me just rephrase this. Maybe we're just keeping the feet grounded, or we're going to extend the right leg out, lengthening that right leg, letting the right heel land. You can see how that feels. If that feels like too much on the low back, we just bend back into that right knee. And then we can bend back into the right knee. This time we'll extend the left leg out, letting the left leg slowly slide out, letting that left heel settle down. Just one more breath. And then we can bend back into the left knee, planting that left foot. Just let everything land for a moment. And then let's slowly begin to lift both feet up. And we'll just pause for a moment, just letting the feet float. And then we can try straightening the legs out, reaching the feet up towards the ceiling for legs up the wall. At any point, you can always bring the feet back down. If we're in our legs up the wall, maybe we choose stillness. Maybe we choose some motion, ankle movement, leg movement, whatever feels good. And then we can slowly begin to bend back into the knees, bring the feet back down, let your feet land. And then we'll just press into the feet to lift the hips up just a little bit, scoot that block out of the way, maybe a quick little windshield wiper side to side. And then we are ready for Shavasana. So if there's any last movements you'd like to take, if you want to add any layers, if you want to grab props, please take your time, get yourself set up in any way that you choose. I know some of you guys have bolsters. You can get creative with you guys all have bolsters. If you want to use your bolsters, get creative. There's so many different ways to use them, whatever is your favorite. Make yourself comfortable. And then once you've found your shape, settle in completely, maybe closing the eyes or softening your gaze, allowing your eyes to be still, allowing everything to settle. Nothing to be done. This is just a pure rest. And the quote for today comes from David Icke. And this is: beliefs are limitations of vision and prisons of the mind. We believe too much and feel too little. Only when we follow our feelings instead of denying them will we break the grip that many manipulators have on the psyche. Go with the flow without fear of what others will think. The most powerful way to set ourselves free of thinking, believing, fearing, and intellect is to celebrate our own uniqueness, allow everyone else to do the same, and never seek to impose what we believe on another. And that just can find our way into our yoga practice. The preconceived ideas of how we think things need to be, rather than sometimes what our feelings are telling us in the moment. That can just be the best guide, the truest, purest guide. Own intuition. And just slowly begin to bring your awareness back to the space, into your body. And you guys are all in different shapes. So each of you just listen to how you're feeling. Follow the movements that feel most natural. And just gradually begin to grow those movements. Taking your time. Maybe eventually lengthening out if that feels good. Taking a nice big stretch. And then just as you're ready, beginning to slowly find your way onto your right-hand side. Take your time to get there. Pause once you're there. And then just slowly begin to press your way up to a seat and taking your time, maybe keeping eyes closed, settling in to a seat, whatever feels good in the moment. And from here, we'll inhale, reaching the arms around and up. We're going to bring palms to touch. Exhale the hands down through heart center, and let's land here. If you would like to join me in the sacred sound of Om, that is always just an option. You can just listen. But if you'd like to participate, we're going to inhale in together here. Om. Inhale, just gently lifting the chest. And as you exhale, bowing forwards. Thank you all for sharing in this practice with me. Namaste.